third phase of moon. Third phase.
Talk about this breaking news situation where an NBA player was abducted on his way back from Las Vegas, and he went public on the New York Post, and they wrote about it, and he said he wasn't lying about this.
You know, and it's an amazing story at that, Blake. It's an NBA player, which is obviously at the top of the top. I mean, these are international superstars. This particular player is a Knicks guard, was former Knicks guard. He retired last year by the name of Baron Davis. And yes, like you said, he was abducted on the way from Vegas to Los Angeles. Now, in his exact words, he saw a light, which he thought was a big rig, okay, which is very common. And then all of a sudden, the next memory, this is his exact words, he's in some steel thing. That's his exact words. Then he recalls these half-human, half-ugly, blank mother blanks, and describes them looking into his eyes and probing him. Now, this is very common, as you know, from the Third Phase of the Moon team, Preston Dennett, and all the other abduction researchers we've had, who say that these grays or these, aliens are always looking you right in the eye from a few inches apart. And why? Because in some way, it's like they're reading your thoughts. That's what it's taking them to get into your brain. They're looking at all your memories. They're looking at all your emotions. They're looking at the fear you're feeling. Everything in a split second by staring into your eyes. And this happened to one of the top international acclaimed superstars in the NBA. And I think that's what makes this one of the greatest cases, Blake.
Exactly, John. We are getting calls. We had to switch mics. I'm not what's going on with Third Phase right now, but let's go to area code 619 calling in to Third Phase Moon. Welcome, and who are we speaking with?
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Oh, hello. My name is Jake, and I have a story for you guys. I've been abducted several years ago.
Wow. Third Phase Moon wants to hear alien abduction stories. Can you stand by? Your name was again?
My name is Jake.
Okay, let's write this down, Jake. We want to cover abduction stories, hear everybody's statements, and that's what Third Phase Moon's really transparent about, is getting this information out. Stand by, Jake. I just wanted to get everybody on board. People are calling in, and we're going to get to everybody, and the show's just begun. Let's go to Maui real quick and speak with Wayne about what he thought of this new information about the NBA player just being abducted, and also what he's working on here.
Well, first thing that comes to mind is when he said he thought it was a big rig. Have you guys, Dr. J and Blake, have you guys seen that video circulating YouTube where the UFO or something sends a beam of light and actually lifts a big rig off the highway?
I've seen this video. The story's very common. Wayne, I know you look at these quite, you want to look at them and have an open mind, but still want to know if this is the real deal or not. We didn't get this video on Third Phase Moon. We've come across it. We decided really not to post it because it almost looked like a mockumentary news event that happened again.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. Was it Russia, you said, Wayne?
Yeah.
So,
and exactly, I agree with you.
Yeah, we decided, we've had a lot of videos in the past that were suspect and, quite controversial on Third Phase Moon with, the subscriber base coming in. We're trying to weed out the fakes from the real deal. It's hard. We at Third Phase Moon over the past few years have
Which is
tried
good.
hard
I
and harder.
commend you
Back
guys
in the day, it was really hard to decipher. Now it's getting easier. We have more of an eye of what we're looking for, and I think those are one of those ones that was one of those sensationalistic, over-the-top videos. And, we didn't want to put it on.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping it real.
Well, from my professional... Oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah, just keeping it real right here at Third Phase Moon. That's why it's growing up. It has been the top UFO channel in the world. Is we're trying to get the word out from the real people. And, this sensationalistic stuff, save that for other things. This is not what Third Phase of the Moon's about. Go ahead, Wayne.
I think Third Phase is actually going to, continue being the leader in this because you guys are doing the right thing. You're respecting the feedback that you're hearing from people. You're evolving to be what they're asking you to be. But the other thing that I really respect about you guys is that you don't judge people. You know, a lot of people might accuse you of some of the fakes that's out there, but the fact is that you guys haven't judged anybody. You guys have kept the door open for people to come forward with their stories. Now, you know, I don't really want to make a big thing about this, but I used to be a fan of Linda Moulton Howe. And as I once told you in confidence, Blake, that I was in a conversation with her on email, and I mentioned something about my step-grandfather, who was retired NSA, working on a craft that he didn't believe from this world, and she quit talking to me. And I asked her about a couple weeks later what the problem was. Like, she had asked me to tell her about this, so I did. I filled her in, and she replies basically, and all she says is, well, that was too mind-boggling. Here's a woman who made a career out of suggesting that cattle is being stolen by aliens, and she's telling me that my story of an ex-NSA is too mind-boggling. The bottom line is she was telling me that I was a liar. And I haven't been a fan of her since, because I think a real researcher would just take that to the people, because, you know, I haven't breathed a word about this particular person since she made me feel pretty kind of stupid. And I think that when you brought up suppression, when you asked somebody on an interview once if they would rather have this suppressed, it really struck home, because I knew that I had never told this story since because of the way this supposed researcher treated me.
Well, you know, Third Phase of Moon, we are like the affiliate to share your story. And we're going to go to Jake right now, standing by. Jake has a story that he says that he wants to share out. Everybody, stand by. We just saw Sheila Bob chime in on Blog Talk Radio. Stand by. We'll get to you, Sheila Bob. And we're going to go straight to Jake in regards to his UFO abduction. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, hello. So you want me to tell the story, right?
Yes, let's keep it down to it's an open mic here, so people might have questions midway. But go ahead and get it started. How did you come across the encounter? What happened?
It was a really strange night. It happened back in 2004 or such. I can barely remember anything, but I do remember waking up in the middle of the night. It was really strange. I looked out my window and saw these three objects. Two of these look like spheres, and this is one that appears to look like a mothership. It looked like a bat, like, you know, a baseball bat we play in the game.
A cylindrical kind of looking, we get a lot of cylindrical UFO sightings from around the world. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah. I looked out the window and I saw these objects, these strange objects that I can't describe because I didn't really see much texture or anything. They just looked like spheres in the sky.
Was there anybody around you? Was it a daylight sighting? Was it nighttime?
It was nighttime, midnight. It was just me. My kids.
And then tell me about, did you have any encounters with alien ET extraterrestrials themselves, Jake?
No, this is the first time. But they actually, right after I saw the UFOs, I appeared in this strange room. I woke up because there was this insertion in my anus. And I saw this gray being that's really darkish and green. And I couldn't make up his face. My vision was blind at that time, very blurry.
Well, it's quite interesting. We have Dr. Jandy Elias, correspondent with us at Third Phase Moon. He helped with the documentary we just produced, and I'm sure the rest of the panel here has seen the alien abduction diaries. Do you have any comments of what you, with this experience that you've just heard, Dr. J, and some of the similarities with the abductees we interviewed in the alien abduction diaries?
I absolutely, Jake. You know, this is such a good case because this goes along with, again, what's being told by so many people. These beings can come in through either a tennis ball-sized light that all of a sudden expands to be, 4 or 5 beings around the room. A lot of times they're coming out of the closet. A lot of times they're walking through the walls. There was an interesting case that another third phase of moon team member, Preston Dennett, wrote about in one of his famous books, UFOs Over California, where there's mother and son were being abducted, and each time the aliens took the kid through the wall, the boy liked to stay in between the wall because he said he loved to see the colored balls. And the aliens would always get mad at him because they said that it was unsafe for him, so they would pull him out. And nonetheless, that's how it came to be, where they both found out about each other's, where the mother suspected the son being abducted, and it ended up being so. But nonetheless, Jake, we have connections here at Third Phase with Dr. Lear and Yvonne Smith, and your story is very consistent. I want to ask you this question that they're going to ask you. Have you ever had an experience anomalous when you were a child? Because most of the time this starts as a kid.
Jake?
No, not really. This was actually the first time.
Hey, Jake, let me ask you, have you watched the new documentary we put out on YouTube, the Alien Abduction Diaries?
No, I haven't.
Well, you should go and visit it. We interviewed 3 abductees. I bet you after watching it, you're going to find it very chilling and enlightening at the same time when you realize that you're not the only one out there that are experiencing these kind of abductions going on right now. Now, let's go to another caller coming in, Chilla Bob. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Who are we speaking?
Hello. How you doing?
Doing good. And, the guest is coming in. We got all kinds of people coming in on our flash chat right now. If you got questions for the panel or Third Phase of Moon in general, put it down. We'll get it in there for you. Now, go ahead. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon, Chilla Bob. Have you had a UFO experience for yourself?
Yes, I have, son. I have experiences not only with UFOs, but I have experience with extraterrestrial beings. As I don't know what the PC term is these days, aliens, the whatnot, but it's something not from this place.
Wow, where were you exactly when you had your Third Phase of Moon? We're getting all kinds of calls in. Even an expired Scooby-Doo snack just logged in. We're going to get to him soon. Chilla Bob, tell us, when exactly did you realize you were involved with possible alien abduction or this encounter, basically close encounter of the 4th kind, contact?
Well, basically, I'm not going to say where I work, but I do a lot of traveling, and I was at the JFK airport.
Yeah.
And I was waiting to get on my flight, and I see this what looks to be a man come in with a briefcase, and I look at him because he seems like he's kind of off or something, and I look over to my wife and I say, what is that? And she said, what do you mean, what is what? And I point over, and she said, that's one of them new briefcases. I said, no, what's that thing holding it? She said, that's a man. I said, that ain't no man. His skin is brown. They're talking about
No, Chill Bob, I don't know what he's talking about. We're talking about alien abduction, not abductions on the street by. We're going to take another call. Tismanasu calling in to Third Phase of Moon. Tismanasu, welcome to Third Phase. And what's going on, and what you have anything to say for the Third Phase of Moon team?
Okay, I'm from Australia. My name's Nick. I was abducted in the 90s. I've been told, I'll just make it clear, I've been told that all abductions have stopped since 2003. There's been an intervention.
I've heard recently that the alien abduction phenomenon isn't going on anymore, that it has stopped. But with everybody calling in, what I'm saying is that people have said this to me recently, but I'm saying when they say it stopped, I think emphatically it has not stopped. It's continuously happening. But if you were abducted, can you tell us quickly what your abduction experience is? And calling in from Australia, we're trying to get the word out from around the world. Go ahead.
Well, I started to see orange orbs dancing in the sky. I was with 7 friends of mine when it happened. Then I lost time. I later on remembered stuff. It came back to me what happened. I was taken by a race of beings. Now, they're known as the Alpha Draconians. They're like reptilians. And I was really afraid. I was really scared. I was taken by 2 10-foot guards. They weren't hurting me or nothing. They just took me to this bigger person, like a boss, like someone with like power, hierarchy. And he spoke to me telepathically. They don't speak with their mouth, straight to my head. Not really soft-spoken. He had yellow eyes. They don't look human. They're not like us. They don't have a human form. Like this guy was like. These guys were 10 foot tall. He basically said, I got scared. I got really, really afraid. He basically said that he was my father. I know it sounds corny, but he said he was my father from a long time ago, and he wanted me to come. So they've come so far away to come here now for me, and I didn't understand what he was trying to say. I got really afraid. I did a gut check. Like I checked my intuition. Is this real? And I got really afraid, and I lunged out to go to attack him. And they put me back, with my friends, 2 hours later. But then I kept on getting abducted through the years. And what I learned is not everyone, everyone makes out the Upper Draconians to be evil, and they're running the show here. In some extent they are, but guess what? Our spirit form, our souls, aren't just human. We've been other things before. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of alien races have come here to experience the human form, and some of us are like Alpha Draconians. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
The Draconians that you just mentioned about, Carrie Cassidy, she was talking about this enormous amount of deities and entities that have been visiting, and that fits in there too. And what, Mr. Australia, you were just talking about the 10-foot aliens, that too is not common. And as everyone will see in the Alien Abduction Diaries, one of the abductees, Jacqueline, actually talks about 8-foot aliens. And someone earlier who was talking about the chocolate aliens, I also got a story about that. There was another incident years ago where someone spoke about being in Puerto Rico and having aliens show up in his room, both Nordic and Greys, and on top of it, there was a Afro-Colombian alien, Afro-Colombian looking, not so much African, but Afro-Colombian type of looking like alien, and was much taller. And all of the stories that we've been hearing right now are all very consistent with what everybody's been reporting.
Area code 111 calling into Third Phase of Moon. I'm not exactly sure if anybody wants to go ahead. This is an open show right now. Who's got something to say that's going to shock the viewers right here at Third Phase?
You know, Blake, I might as well, unless anybody else got something to say, because Blake, I always got something.
I know you got something to say. There was this. There's this
Go
story. Okay. Let's get to Dr. J. and Elias, and then right after that next. I know Dr. J has a story about what happened with Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan in regards to the future of the presidency for Ronald. Go ahead, Dr. J. and Elias, exclusive right here at Third Phase of Moon.
You know, this is an amazing story, and this is actually, it's an alleged story, of course, because we can't confirm it, but it's actually come from several high-level officials, a couple of them that we've actually worked with, and we don't want to name names of accusing them because they told it to Third Phase of Moon in confidence, but in the 50s, when Ronald Reagan was doing his television show with GE, he was driving up the 5 freeway with Nancy, and they saw a light behind them, and they believed it was just another car. Well, that light all of a sudden started to go above the ground and then above them, and they realized, wow, what is this? Then they realized that it was a circular light. It sped ahead of them, stopped, landed on the road, and just was blocked their driving. The car, this disc that they see that's glowing is blocking them on the 5 freeway. It's pitch dark other than the light. There's no cars around them. It's the middle of the night. Ronald Reagan wants to get out of the car, and Nancy does not want to get out of the car. She's in fear. He's curious. Well, despite pleading not to get out of the car, he gets out, and he walks towards the craft, and Nancy observes him allegedly walking up this ramp into the disc. About 10 minutes passes. He comes out, and he starts walking back to the car, and he's really, really happy. And as he's coming back, he's grinning, and she's like, what is it, Ronnie? What? He goes, you're never going to believe what they told me. She said, what? She said, I'm going to be president of the United States. And she said, what? You know, you're an actor and politician. She goes, yeah. They said I'm going to be president of the United States. They showed me in the Oval Office, in the White House, and all this. And they said before that I'm going to be governor of California. But they said, in order for me to do this, I have to drop GE. She goes, we can't do that. That's our income. That's our job. That's how we make our living. If we drop GE, you're going to lose your job. We're going to lose our income. And how is anything going to happen? Well, Ronald Reagan stuck to his instincts, dropped GE. Sure enough, somebody else picked up the show, and as history shows it, he became president. Now, can we confirm this story or not? It is an alleged story, but then again, as you know, Blake, and from behind the scenes, from who we heard it from some of the top, most credible people that Third Phase of the Moon has worked with. As the listeners know, we work with the top guests and the top ufologists in the world.
Of the universe would like you to solve the mysteries of aliens.
We're getting a feed coming in from Rocket Technician. Rocket Technician, welcome to Third Phase of the Moon. We're just talking about the possible abduction with Ronald Reagan. Nancy Reagan saw the whole thing. Reagan says they told him he's going to be president of the United States. And do you think, if this is true, we did get this from a high source, Dr. John. Rocket Technician, go ahead.
Indeed, a high source it was.
That was your source that was given to Third Phase of the Moon about Nancy and Ronald?
It was our source. We sent it to you through your mind.
No, that's not true. I hate to say that, but we got it through 2 physical people that told it to us in person.
I made you believe that. I had chosen you, hosts, to lead Earth in finding the alien. Come to the center, I beckon you. Use your morphers. You will find them on your left wrist.
Wow, that was interesting insight from Rocket Technician. Now we're going to go to another guy. I'm not going to say his name, but it's Blank McIntosh. Maybe he's got something intelligent to say with a last name like that. Go ahead, Mr. McIntosh. Anything for the Third Phase of the Moon panel? Have you had a UFO experience yourself? 1 second, McIntosh. We're going to get to you.
Oh, Scoob! Oh, Scoob, more Scooby snacks! Oh, Scoob, that's the stuff! Scoob!
Okay, now we're going to get to, wow, Third Phase of the Moon has, quite the crowd tonight. I guess something's in the water today around the world. Let's go back to Wayne and ask him about what he's going to be doing in the near future.
Well, before I go there, I actually want to comment on Dr. J's story because doesn't that sound a lot like Ezekiel and what the beings requested from him when they told him that he would become the king and instructed him what to do and how to do that?
Absolutely, Wayne, and you know what? Let me tell you why. Apparently, if you can alter gravity, which is what these things use to, beat the speed of light and to traverse around the galaxies, if you can alter gravity, you can alter time. And therefore, by default, you have a time machine. And this doctrine of convergent timelines basically shows different paths that people can go on based on the current situation. So when Ezekiel was told what to do to become king, he was obviously the people that, or the deities that were telling him this, were looking at the different paths and saying, okay, for him to become king, he has to do this and has to not do that. And that is exactly what Ronald Reagan has done. Throughout history, it's been going on. So, yes,
that
you
reminded
are 100%
me of that
correct.
as soon as you said it. As soon as you told me the story.
Let's go to Fano Trains coming into Third Phase of Moon. Fano Trains, welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Have you had a UFO experience for yourself?
Yes, I have. I certainly have.
Go ahead, Fano Trains, tell us about it. Have you videotaped it? Did you post it to YouTube?
First, I'm not talking like, personal, like face-to-face, whatnot. What I'm really talking, I'm with you there with the Ronald Reagan stuff.
Certainly.
Man,
what did you think of that? Have you heard that before? Go ahead.
I'll tell you right now.
What's that, Fano?
Him himself, I mean, how many of our presidents have been aliens?
Well, like you said, there's video of several of them that are switching to, reptilian and back. But, again, everything is alleged. Third Phase of Moon is out there to get the word out. It's the public's decision. I'm on the fence on that one. I believe it's very possible. Then again, if you look at that matter, we all very well could be alien ourselves. But are they more advanced? Because have aliens infiltrated Earth and the top levels of society, including the leadership of the world, as Dr. Jacobs have said? Very, very possible. So
to me, it sounds like a different a different race of people entirely. Is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like a different race, from a different planet came down and they realized, they were smarter than us, so they can just take us over whenever they want to. They can manipulate our minds, whatever they would like to do. And
are black people smarter than white people? I mean, they're kind of a different race too, but we're connected, and that's what I've seen in my research is that, we're different, but a lot of these beings that have been messing with our history were elongated skulls, and they were related to humanity by some way.
I think what we need to do is we need to band together. We need to solve this mystery and unmask the criminals. That's what we have to do.
You got it. That's
why they're pushing so hard to make sure we don't, is because when we figure out the key to free energy, we're going to instantly find out that who the criminals were, and we're also going to know that these greedy people are responsible for all the starving children in the last 30, 40 years.
We got to like some kind of, mystery team or mystery machine, whatever. We got to go out there. We got to unmask these villains. And we got to stop this from going on. We got to expose the truth.
The smoking gun evidence, I imagine, in the future will be coming into Third Phase of Moon, and the world will change.
Boy, this mystery's getting more mysterious by the minute.
We're getting calls coming in from around the world. We got a call coming in, area code 720. Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. Go ahead.
Yeah, is this me?
That's you. Go ahead. Welcome to Third Phase. This is Blake Cousins.
Yeah. Hi, how you doing? I'm just calling. I've never been abducted or anything like that, but I've had a lot of experiences with UFOs. I don't know exactly if there are UFOs or whatever, but I have had a lot of orbs that look like round flames that are green, like so many times since I was a kid. For example, my girlfriend, she gets her hair done like once a month, and we usually go downtown, and it takes about, 6 to 5 hours because it's like extensions and all that or whatever, So one time I didn't want to wait inside of the house, so I just went for a walk, and it was nighttime, I was walking down an alley, and I just had this feeling of looking up, in the sky. Like every time I see these things, I get a feeling, like look up. So I looked up, and, right above me, on top of my head, there was an orb that looked like a star. It wasn't green. This one was like a star, but it was going the same direction that I was walking. And as soon as I looked at it, it disappeared. It just like shrunk into plain air. And I thought nothing of it. So
keeping your eyes out, having the idea, some of these extraterrestrials give out this telekinesis. communications giving
Man,
this.
that's frightening shit, man.
Have you look up in the sky. We're taking another call right here at Third Phase of Moon, just coming in fast and furious. Magic Calmeric. Welcome to Third.
Just one more thing before we get this guy on the.
Whoa, man, hold up, man. Well, first of all, what I want to say is what y'all talking about is some freaky stuff, man. This is like frightening. But what I'm gonna tell you right now is, you know, I may not be one of them people to have experienced an extraterrestrial interaction at a corporation store location, but what I can tell you is what I had experienced. I was chilling out in the desert doing peyote back in my early 2000s with my bro, and ever since then, man, I've been experiencing these weird like tremor feelings in my head. I've had flashing visions for the past few years, man. And let me tell you, it's done all this weird stuff to me. Where like every so often I'll start breaking out, and like I just can't help it.
Cause I'll be like, "What up, bitches? Let's solve some mysteries." And me and Scoob get in the van. We drive around solving the mysteries.
Wow, how does that happen?
Man, that's what I'm talking about. These damn mystery people. We don't know who people are until they reveal themselves.
We got to get the word out.
First, this is Wayne.
Oh, Wayne, yes.
And I have never talked about this story in public, or I've never broken this story in public. I have written about it once on my Facebook wall, but the reason is as you know, Blake, I'm a very serious ufology and ancient linguistics researcher. So, you know, I kind of felt like I need credibility to present some of this, and you know, if I go around telling people that I think I might have been abducted, that might destroy, you know, the credibility that they would have. But it's very important to understand that it's only about a year and a half ago that I realized or became convinced that this might have been a real life event. And Dr. J. Andy, I want you to pay close attention to some details because of your level of experience, especially you guys personally know Dr. Roger Lear. Me and Blake have actually talked about this in private, and Blake believes I should go ahead and get my hand x-rayed. So here's what happened. In 1994, approximately September of 94, and that date, take note, it's going to be very important at the end of this story. I came home from work. I laid down in my bed, and I no more than laid down on my back when I noticed I could start to see the stars through my ceiling. And I was about to really trip out on this, so I instantly kind of go to look around me, you know, like, where the heck am I? I thought I just laid down in bed. So it's really important to realize that I do not remember going to sleep, but I've always assumed my whole life that I had fallen asleep and had a dream. So I look around me, and the first thing I see, looking down at my feet, I see that I am now floating in the sky above my two-story apartment. On now looking down at my feet, I'm actually looking at the porch light at the apex of my roof. And at this time, I'm about to really trip, like I'm kind of feeling like it's a dream because how the heck could I be floating? And the other thing is something takes my attention span away, though. So I'm about to freak out, but all of a sudden I see a shooting star gaze across the sky. And that kind of robs my attention. So I look at this shooting star, and it looks like a glass, like a magnifying glass. I can see this because as it has a tail like a comet, but as it shoots across the sky, I can see the light from the stars bending as this thing goes in front of it. Now, it gets all the way to the one side of the sky, and then it flips the bottom over. When it turns over, two things happen quite instantaneously. One, I see that the bottom of the craft is a great big orange orb, and around its perimeter are like a chain of red orbs, smaller red orbs. But the thing that really was very frightening to me was the very second that I saw the bottom of the craft, I was hit with a sound. Now the sound sounded like a digital flute. And what I mean by that is it sounded like doodle doodle, but it was really intense. What this sound did to me was it straight up paralyzed me, and it held me in the position. If anyone has actually seen the picture on the DVD of the movie Fire in the Sky about Travis Walton, you can see how he's held by that beam of light with his arms laying back, his head laying back. That was exactly how I was held. Now, here's what happens. This beam hits me and instantly paralyzes me.
This
thing is lifting.
Wayne, this sounds like
this thing is lifting.
The Travis Walton. Exactly. You're explaining it like how it happened to Travis Walton. We had him on the show. Dr. Jandy Elias and I interviewed him. Stand by, Wayne. Dr. Jandy Elias, I want to get you on, but we're taking calls and they're just coming in. We got a call from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like right now, a call coming in from Portland, Oregon. Area code 530, stand by, but we're going to get to Daniel Carlin, 1981. Go ahead, Daniel.
How you doing?
Welcome to Third Phase of Moon. This is Blake Cousins. Any experiences you've had? Have you captured anything you're going to share on Third?
Okay. Matt, can you hear me okay?
We hear you. Okay, Daniel, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm on a big connection right now, but yeah.
You're coming in clear. Go ahead. We're live.
I work in construction. Up in New York, and we see shit all the time. I'm telling you right now. It's because we're working on 12 buildings right now. We're on we're doing a thing with the Empire State Building.
Wow. Do you carry a GoPro cam? I know you guys are up there in the high rises. These things are small. Do you walk around with camera equipment?
But I do have the I got it on my iPhone.
Yes. Did you capture anything on the Empire State Building?
Yeah, we saw, what was it, 2 orbs like 3 nights ago. It was. What
do you think they were? Were they possibly spy drones, or do you think they were they moving around unlike anything you've ever seen before?
Buddy, I'll tell you right now, they're not planes. They're not planes at all. They go to one way and they go the other way, and they really fit like zigzag in the sky.
Wow, doing the 90-degree zigzag angles, absolutely impossible for conventional aircraft.
I work with this one nut. Like, the drones. They're drones. I'm like, no, they're not drones. It's a fucking alien up there. One of them, what was it? One of them started getting close to the point where we could, like shine a light on it. Because we got the spotlights.
Wow.
And one of them comes down close enough. It's like it's shiny, kind of green metal.
Daniel, you got to film these things and get it on Third Phase of Moon and share it with the world. Are you going to do that next?
No, I have it on my iPhone. Where could I post this that you guys could see it?
Okay, perfect. This is how we do it right here, Daniel. Stand by. Basically, my email address. You ready?
Yeah.
Cousins, Cousins.
Yeah.
Brothers.
Hold on. Vinny, I'm on the phone. Damn it. All right, sorry.
Stand by. That's fine. Cousins Brothers Productions. It's a long one, but it's easy. Cousins Brothers Productions, all with an S at the end, at gmail.com. Daniel, send that video. We're going to share it with the world, and we're going to
And could I finish my story, perhaps?
Go ahead, Daniel. We got 11 minutes left on the show.
There's where was I? The green metal.
Green metal. Yep.
It was green metal. It kind of looked like it had decals on it. The looked like purple decals or something.
So a hieroglyphic kind of formation, possibly on the side of the aircraft. Hey, do you have a YouTube channel, or what's your YouTube channel?
I don't have YouTube. I have the what's it called? The Facebook.
Okay, well, you Skype us, Facebook, Third Phase of Moon, or, Skype, Third Phase of Moon, or Facebook, Third Phase of Moon. Get in touch with us, Daniel. We'll be talking to you soon.
But one more thing.
Yep.
Basically, I you know how, when you swear you can hear something like a voice in your head? It sounded like I could hear a voice in my head. It was telling me it was like, oh, Scoob, just go and get a Scooby snack. And I'm like, what the hell is this kind of thing going on? I don't want no Scooby snacks. And Scoob! No, Scooby!
7 minutes left, and he's still up to it. Yeah.
All right. So basically, what an amazing night right here at Third Phase of the Moon. Calls from around the world. People had fun, and it is quite an interesting format to come out with the UFO phenomenon. People want to take it tongue-in-cheek, but we're serious right here at Third Phase of the Moon. This isn't fun and games. People are affected by alien abduction. People are seeing lights in the sky, unusual ships. We're showcasing it right here at Third Phase of the Moon. Dr. Jandy, Elias, any last words?
Absolutely. You know, everything we've been hearing tonight has been very consistent with what we've been shooting in the 2 alien documentaries, alien abduction documentaries, one with Dr. Lear and one with, of course, the alien abductees, the alien abduction diaries. The floatings and the dreams are very common. The shooting stars are basically the ships leaving. The sound paralyzing has something to do with the frequencies, and so all of it makes sense. But I just want to remind everybody that Third Phase of the Moon always has top guests, and this week we're going to be having Stanton Friedman on our other show before we get to this one. So if I don't mind, give out the number real quick. Anyone want to listen to it, it's 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday, July 18th, and it's going to be with Stanton Friedman, Godfather Ufology. You can call in at 818-923-1713. Tell your story, ask him a question. Again, 818-923-1713, and listen to it live at freedomslips.com, S-L-I-P-S, freedomslips.com.
Incredible. Stanton Friedman's been on Third Phase of the Moon multiple times. I'm sure we're going to have some new information that comes in this incredible interview. We look forward to it. John, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase.
Anytime, Blake. You know it.
Okay, stay tuned. There's going to be more coming in from Dr. Jandy Elias in a few days, and we want to thank Wayne for joining us right here at Third Phase of the Moon, coming out of Maui, working on a project that we're going to be releasing right here at Third Phase of the Moon. Wayne, thanks a lot.
Hey, one thing I wanted to say real quick is anyone that you guys have in Australia that might want to tell their story on a live interview, I would like maybe them to get in contact with me through you guys, and then I'll do the interviews when I go to Australia this fall and, produce them on Third Phase of the Moon.
Certainly,
we would love that. You know what? I would actually love you if you could find Jim Sparks, because we lost touch with him after he moved out of the U.S. to Australia.
We have
there's Nick that called in earlier.
Yeah, we have him right here. Tisman Manasu from Australia. Are you still with us at Third Phase?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We hear you. Basically, what you need to do is get me an email correspondence. Maybe we could have you guys work together on right there in Australia. Would that be fine with you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
I've had 38 years of alien interactions.
Tismanasu, do you have a video of some of these interactions?
Not a video. It really got big for me in the 90s. It all stopped around 2003. That's why I tell you, the abductions have stopped. The ETs are everywhere. There's thousands of sightings a month. But you don't hear about people getting taken, eggs from women, sperm from men. You don't hear that anymore.
Nick, I do got to say one thing about that. I do got to say one thing. We did have Kathleen Martin, Denise Stoner. Kathleen Martin is Betty Hill's niece. Betty and Barney Hill, for all you listeners out there who don't know, are the first abducted case that made it to the media. And Denise Stoner, her co-author of the newest book, is actually an abductee herself, and she's in her 60s, being abducted since she was 4 years old, maybe even earlier.
Yes, damn.
And she claims she was abducted as recently as a couple months ago. And yes, you're right. They're not taking sperm and ova from people anymore, but they are conducting emotional experiments.
Sorry about that. Everybody's getting in here. Everybody all at once. Here we go. Everybody quiet. Everybody listen.
Come on, Shaggy. We've got to stop him. Help me find my glasses.
Professor Miller, I need to ask you a question.
If anybody's captured anything amazing in regards to UFOs, contact Third Phase of the Moon via Facebook. My name's Blake Cousins. We'll see everybody again next week, and it's going to be an incredible show. And we're going to play it out right here with Third Phase of the Moon. We'll see everybody again.
Aloha, Blake, and thank you.
We'll see everybody again next week.